of a lot of fun, Jeanne Robertson. Oh, she's a heck of a lot of fun, Jeanne Robertson.
Okay, hey everybody, this is Jeanne. I'm still a little hoarse, and I'll explain that in a minute, but we're on my back porch in Burlington, North Carolina, Alamance County, near my hometown of Graham, North Carolina. And we're excited about today's show. It's going to be a little different with a little bit of tossing it to y'all sometime and see if you can write me a pretty good punchline. You've done this before and you loved it, and I do not pay a commission. If it winds up in a book, I'll send you a copy, and if it does all those kind of things. But we're just looking, and I'll tell you what happened in a minute. First of all, this big announcement for me is that Thursday morning, I had 114 million hits on YouTube. Woo, woo. I didn't even notice I was sick and doing stuff. Oh, thank you, cheering Toni.
I forgot to cheer.
Toni's here and Patrick is here. And I will be honest with you, as I have not been putting up as many clips after Left Brain's passing. And that's been 2 months. And so I'm ready to get back on it a little bit more. I tell you the truth, I just didn't feel like doing it. And so I just didn't. And I guess that y'all just kept things going because the clips just kept on rolling. But we have clips in queue, and we'll be putting some more up. One of the main questions you asked, am I going to now tell any stories about Left Brain? Yes, of course. It would hurt his feelings if I cut him out of the act. He loved for me to tell stories about him. And we've got some that we're working on. We've already lined them up. That was before he passed away, and we knew he was pretty sick. But I appreciate all of your recipes. I ask for them with my scratchy throat. I asked for them on Thursday night during the pop-up, and y'all have sent them, and I appreciate it. But I have to be honest with you, the scratchy note is caused by some other problems. But I've enjoyed trying the recipes anyway. Seems like it's getting a little better.
You're not supposed to just drink the toddy part.
No, every one of them says, and if you want some, you can add and make it a toddy by putting in whatever, that you got off the airlines. So we'll get to that in a minute. The second thing is that thank y'all for saying, not asking me too much. I've been pretty sick myself, and you've probably figured this out by now. And because I have been in and out of the hospital situations, and like yesterday I had a port put in. It's all down in here, and then this is the best thing I could find. That's a little something up there.
You didn't want to wear your turtleneck.
It's what?
So you didn't want to wear that turtleneck.
I know the turtleneck's a little hot in Burlington. It's hot everywhere.
Especially when it's 90 degrees, right?
I know it. I appreciate it. But we're back on it, and we're having a good time. So what we're going to do today is we're going to give away 3 gifts, and we've got a way that we'll do those. And by the way, this marks the end of July. And so one time I was not able to be on the show. Anyway, I'm on the show. We're doing the shows. We have a great show lined up for you today. And I think you'll enjoy it because you will be participating. So after the gifts, I'm going to toss out just a couple of stories that I've been working on for maybe 20 years on these yellow tablets. And they're just not ready yet. And once before we did this, or 2 or 3 times, and y'all threw in some great lines, and I appreciate that. We'll also give 3 more gifts, and I want to call a couple of things to your attention, and let y'all start thinking on how to make these stories funnier. They don't just fall from the sky. And I would rather, other than being with Left Brain, I would rather work on stories than about anything. Everybody knows that. And I've been working on so many this year on this show and on Neil Steele's radio show that Now I might have to do another book if anybody's got a funny name. I mean, I'm just ready to roll the best I can in my life right now. So,
Well, Jeannie, I thought I had a good name for your tour.
oh, I'm sure.
Your last tour was the Rocking Chair tour, and I
Okay.
thought Jeanne Robertson off her rocker would be a great one.
You know what? After the last week or 2 weeks,
That might be next year's tour
Toni,
name.
go write that down. I'm going to have to
sounds
watch
pretty
the whole thing again. And look at all these names. Good morning from South Louisiana. These names. If you have, it says it's my birthday and you're celebrating with me today. Thank you, Cassandra. If you have a question you want to ask, Patrick's going to be keying in. If you see me look down from the camera, I'm looking straight down and looking at the things rolling by.
Snapping green beans, hi from Goshen, Indiana. Good
Oh,
gracious.
good for y'all.
That brings back memories. Every time I see a green bean, I think of As the World Turns, because I had to snap green beans with my grandmother while she watched As the World Turns.
And I had to sit on the back porch and snap them on the back steps, on the back stoop when we did that. So we'll see. Somebody put something and they said, hide. Oh, love you. Anyway, so that's it. And I've got some other things. First of all, I know everybody's a little bit worried about the shows being postponed again because of wearing the mask and all that. We're just proceeding on. Everywhere is different. And what I'm going to tell you about my little illness here, I don't want it all out on the email, and I don't want it discussed, and I don't need a huge change. We're just doing the best we can here, and we're looking for humor in it every day. For example, let me show you how you're always trying to find current humor that lets people know you're not doing a one-trick pony show that you put together 12 years ago. They're there. They're ready to go. I have the 9 DVDs that are taped, but I like to work on more. So let me just to give you a couple of things, then I'll give you one to work at. If you can think of anything better, hey, we're in. We'll take it. So I had to go over because on Memorial Day, Toni, remember you took me to the hospital and my leg had swollen up like a dead hole.
Yes, we generally go to the hospital on holidays.
Oh, that's right.
You
Christmas,
prefer to break things and
Super
have
Bowl.
Things happen on holidays.
I know.
Which, if you get in, it's not crowded on those days. I'll say that. I can always park close.
You can park right up there.
And I've discovered Alamance County is a wonderful place to break a bone because they treat you so nice.
They're very nice. Everybody here has been nice to me. But I went in one of the places when my leg got so big. And I mean, I almost would get in on my left leg and go back out and get my right leg because it was huge. It was just terrible. And they said, finally, get to the hospital. So Toni took me over there. And by the way, in what I'm going through medically right now, you have to have a good team to help you. And several of my teammates are sitting here. One of them's you, Toni. You are the top teammate.
Of course.
I know it. Yesterday, how long did you sit there?
Not that long. You were fine.
I know it. But I had the port put in. So we want to.
Well, can I tell a quick story?
Yeah.
So you and I were on the phone. You were waiting outside of the hospital to be picked up, and Toni kept calling in. So I was going to call her when I got off the phone with you, and so you said, "Okay, I see my ride's here," and so I hung up, called Toni, and she said, "I'm waiting." I forget, a couple of days ago, she said, "Well, I'm waiting to hear from Jeanne. I'm supposed to go pick her up." She said, "Well, she said her ride's pulling up." I said, "Get over there. She's about to jump in the car with a stranger."
No, that was Lynn.
That was Lynn. Yeah, we had a little mix up there. That was Thursday.
Yeah, but on Monday, I didn't have all this. They're changing what they've been doing for me.
Right.
And
switching everything around.
And I had to be there Monday and Tuesday. So I went 5 days this week, and y'all didn't know it. As a matter of fact, I've been fighting this since last August, and I don't think y'all know it. Do y'all? You ask a lot of questions. Why are there bruises on your hand?
All right.
Do you need us? Okay.
We'll just keep them in the dark.
Okay. So we went over there, but then they sent me I was supposed to go to a new doctor that I did not know. I can't believe there's a doctor in town I don't know.
That's true.
and everywhere around here. And so I went up, and he was a veins and vascular doctor.
Yes.
So that was what I needed for
not
this hog
vasectomy,
leg.
vascular.
Okay. I think Keith took me that day. He drives me around. I mean, it's just gotten ridiculous. And I went in, and it was all V's, veins, vascular, and everything. And I went in, and I said, is this the veins and Viagra doctor?
No, not Viagra, but that's a good one. You
No,
said
that was it,
vasectomy.
Tony.
You said vasectomy.
Oh, no. Well, give me a chance.
Okay.
Give me a chance. You just blew the punchline.
Well, I'm sorry that
you go
told
to
me.
number 2.
That's not how you've told us before.
I
That's
know
not how you.
veins and vascular was what he is. But I said, is this the veins and Viagra doctor? And the nurse said, no, if he were the veins and Viagra doctor, we'd be making a whole lot more money than we are on veins.
They'd be lined up like a bar.
And when I went in the next time, she said, wait just a minute. And all these nurses kind of walked through. They said, they just wanted to see what you look like, that kind of thing. So that we were looking for that. That was right before Jerry passed away. But those kind of things happen all the time. And then, so yesterday, it started again. So all week I have had every test you could have on anything on your body. And they had to work me in. And, and then you have to wait because other people are ahead of you. But we've looked for humor the whole time, and it's been a lot of fun. So I'll tell mine and see if y'all remember me telling this story. This has no punchline for me. I still think it's funny.
So we're looking for a punchline.
Yeah, you're looking to help me. It's a funny story, but it just ends. So I was to MC a pageant for a college that had no money, but would I come down to Whiteville? They paid a little bit. It was a community college. And college kids will do anything. They will do anything. And they were not going to the Miss North Carolina pageant. They were just having a pageant in their college. But you had to have talent. And so on rehearsal night, it looked fine to me. The scene was in a cemetery in the dark, and it was decorated because people seem to think in a pageant, the more decorations you have, the more talent you develop in 2 weeks. And they had the trees out in the cemetery and a moon in the back, and sitting in the absolute center of the stage was a coffin. And so that was interesting. And it was raining a little bit, and she had an umbrella in the rain and this kind of thing. And it looked fine in rehearsal. Those college students were planning the whole time. So the next night, this was all set up with more sticks from these fake trees and everything. And the students were about to be very nice. And then it turned out that they had hidden a student in the coffin. And so she was the mama, or the grandmama was on the front of the stage, and she said, oh, whoever they named, we're going to miss you so much. It's going to, in the casket about that time, the guy raised it up just a little bit and snapped it back down, because the minute some of the students saw it, they went berserk. They watched and started punching people. All of them started doing this, sitting up in the chair, seeing what was going on. She did it a second time. It was a young man. He did it a second time. She still didn't know what was going on. But when she got to a certain place, and she probably had a peephole in that wooden coffin, and he lifted it up again. Well, by now, about everybody in the auditorium was about to die. They were going berserk because she snapped it down. Their college friend, sitting in the front of the stage, didn't know what was going on until about the third time. And she turned fast. And she sat down. She turned and walked over. And she said, sit down on that. Something that she said, you'll be in here all night again. By then, the students were going absolutely wild. She went over, of course, had seen what had happened. And And when they shut the curtain, something had to happen but I didn't have any. We were all laughing so hard, we didn't know what to do. And he was sitting, she'd gone and sat on the coffin, and the students were going wild, and they would not leave the theater. They wanted to know who was inside the coffin and what they were going to do about it. And it just went absolutely berserk. And when the show was over, they absolutely would not leave. And they laughed and laughed and laughed until they finally got him out, or didn't get him out. Or what do you think happened? See, there's nothing there, is there?
I don't know. It's a funny story.
Oh, can you see a group of college students beating on their chairs, standing up saying, well, as anybody else says so, I'm coaching you live. I absolutely love you all. So are you all checked out by, okay, they're on the sickness. Okay. Did anybody, if you think about that and you were there that night, I still think that story has possibilities, but evidently nobody does. I don't hear anything from Toni, and Patrick won't look at me.
Well, that's a funny line. Was he coming or going?
Hey, what? Is he coming or going? Well, now see, that's it. And another place, a funny line, there were adults in there too. Some of the professors, I wish I could do that to him in class, this kind of thing. Is he coming or going? I got him. He's in one of my classes.
Someone says, did he jump out and yell boo?
Yeah, boo.
Start knocking on the coffin and scare her. But she was shutting it up. She was trying to do her dramatic
sitting on
reading, right?
She went
and she sat on it to keep him from interfering.
She's a college student. She knew exactly
what was going on.
When she saw the top of that lid go down, she just went over and sat on the coffin. She could have said something at that point.
Yes,
you're going to be here all night.
Yeah,
And a teacher could have said, I think that person's in one of my classes. I'll sit on it from 2 to 5, in the morning.
Or she could have said, and now for my magic trick, sawing the coffin in half.
That would be good. That would be.
And my next move will be to saw the coffin in half.
That's it. We'll get there.
Good.
And y'all will think
let's
about
give
it.
some prizes.
Okay. All right. Prizes. Okay. And you get your choice. This is my cane. They want me to walk with a cane now. I've about killed myself since I've been walking with this cane. I had my house worked. No, I know. So this is going to be.
Oh, somebody had a funny line. Was his name Lazarus?
No.
Rising from the dead.
I know, Patrick. I go to church.
Well, me too.
When I can.
Major holidays.
Okay. I'm filling out this. If your name gets drawn out, you get to choose from these back here. Several of y'all have asked if the left brain and I could both sign the hat. I wish he would be here. I hope he is listening today. He didn't like signing stuff anyway.
I'd like to see that one.
I know it.
He
Okay.
didn't sign it when he was alive.
Okay. We're in Gloucester Point, and she says, I love to listen to you and Neil on the radio. Stay well and all that kind of stuff. So Gloucester is where Neil's still. And a lot of people, I want to apologize. I messed up Thursday night when I told y'all that he was going to be there, but he wasn't. He's had hip surgery. We can't get a good body if you bring in all the parts. It's not going to work. And this is Christine Sevier Shipley. Christine Sevier. So you brought up she didn't even ask for a hat. Why did I mention that? That's one of the first things that goes, your ability to think. But you have won a prize. So I then notioned and said, people are still getting the hats. But you get your choice of everything up here except the wonderful audio book done by Patrick Henry and Jeanne Robertson, right? But
thank you for giving me top billing.
I was trying to be nice. Okay, so if you let us know, you write Toni@JeanneRobertson.com. And you just write right here. And you tell her what you want. And if you've already won books, if you already won DVDs, CDs, hats, all this kind of stuff. Then if you wanted me to sign something you haven't won, let me know and I'll sign that. We'll send that or send it to a friend.
Somebody just asked, you see on the screen there, did you ever work with Jerry Clower?
I knew Jerry Clower, but we never worked at the same time because if we were there, you didn't have another one on at the same time.
You need two funny people.
You didn't need two funny people. And he was funny. He wore the yellow jackets and the red jacket. I mean, he was a character. Norma White, everybody knows her, and her brother, he was a coach. I mean, Al and her husband, they were coaching in Mississippi, and a dog they wanted was available, and they went over to get it, and it was from Jerry Clower. They said, he's just standing in the yard waiting for them to come. But every time, yeah. But
okay,
but I saw Jerry Clower coming in and out of a hotel. He was maybe going to do the afternoon show. I was leaving, and so he always nodded, and he said, well, there you are. You're still making them laugh, this kind of stuff. But then in the airport one day, I saw him with a crowd of people around him, and he was really just inundated by people. And he had a suitcase. It was a suitcase that didn't roll. It had a handle, and he would pick it up, and people were around. And I stood on the edge of the crowd, and he looked at me. Maybe 5 times he'd look and he would nod, and he knew that he was supposed to know me, but I didn't step up. I was just watching him work the crowd. And when he finally said, well, I've got to get to my flight. And when they all left, he said, wait just a minute. We know each other. You are, right? And I said, oh, I'm Jeanne Robertson. And he said, oh, yeah, I know you. How you doing? And I said, fine. How are you? We're never going to spend time together because we're working the same shows and going in and out at the same time. And he said, I'm okay, Jeanne, but can you tell how tired I've been? They will not leave me alone. I can't walk through the airport to my next gate. Everybody wants to talk to me. And I appreciate it so much because they love what I do and I love them. But I just am but I gotta hustle now. He picked up his suitcase, and in letters this big, written on the side were Jerry Clower. He had on that red coat or that yellow coat, and he hustled off. I saw him about a concourse away, stopping, talking to more people.
I don't feel sorry for someone trying to be incognito in a bright red suit.
No,
with his name on the suitcase.
I think your daddy knew him, didn't he?
Dad used to get mistaken for him a lot because Dad was big and Jerry Clower was big. Or not a lot, but he told a story one time of being at a amusement park, and somebody came, he saw a guy watching him, and Dad thought he recognizes me, or he thinks that and so he was, and the guy walked up and had a camera in his hand, and Dad said, would you like a picture? He said, yes, I would. Thank you. And he handed Dad the camera and put his arm around his wife. He wanted Dad to take the picture.
A lot of people asked me if I knew Jerry Clower. And I think your daddy had some of his mannerisms. He did.
Also, there was a Southern comedian. What was that guy's name from Mississippi that he, Reverend somebody that Dad sounded like?
Yeah. Hello. Well, if it ain't Robert Henry.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I can't remember the guy's name.
Okay.
Those are the gifts.
Give another prize.
Third prize. Thank you, Toni.
Second prize. We've only given one.
Oh, I thought I've got to get way down in here. And here you go. This is from Lana Parks. Okay.
Lama. Parks.
Parks. Parks.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay. So whatever you want. And her name is Lana Parks. Whatever you want. So the rest of my team, y'all, of course, is Norma Rose. And she comes over. And
people are wondering if she's okay and where she is. She's good. She's on driving duty sometimes.
She is. And then we sat over there one day don't know.
Actually, I think we're letting her go out of town next week for a while.
Well, I'll
right?
tell you the kind of thing Norma Rose did for me on Thursday night. I had to not have anything to eat. Y'all know that kind of. Is this somebody at the house? Is
Keep
it
going.
Norma Rose?
It's not. I don't think. Yeah, it's. I don't know. I don't know who it is.
Anyway, somebody.
Go
bring
ahead.
me.
Tell
The
what you all
story
did.
is you've all done this. You've always done this thing. Is it Catherine? Okay. You've always done this thing where you have to fast before surgery. You can eat until a certain time, and then you can eat after 6, and then you can't eat after midnight. So I always set my clock for 11 p.m. Get up and have something.
Get up and have a meal.
Yeah, and then you can drink water and that kind of thing. So we assigned Norma to bring me a good meal Thursday night, and before my operation yesterday.
Yes.
And so we did the pop-up show. Who is this?
That was Crystal with Terminex. She
Oh,
brought you cookies.
No. Oh, Crystal. She's got to come back. I found something dead in the house last night.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
Her
Terminex
daughter
person.
makes those cookies. Thank you, Crystal.
Well,
Crystal,
it's
when I find something dead in the house, Crystal is on my number 1 team.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And of course, I have Lynn that comes in, and then I have my speaking buddies.
And if she finds that squirrel droppings, she calls in the number 2 team.
you were telling about the dinner.
Patrick, can you just tell her I was going to call her? Oh, I found a dead something in the house
I'll tell
last
her.
night.
Just
Okay.
keep
We'll
going.
tell her.
She's going to come to the window?
No,
She's checking the
she's gonna
yard.
do the yard.
Oh, but the animal is dead in the house.
It ain't going.
Well, as long as it's dead, it's not going
Unlike
anywhere.
the guy in the coffin on the stage, he ain't going anywhere.
Not going anywhere.
Right.
Can wait till the show's over.
Crystal
you were
does
telling-
everybody's in this neighborhood. She does all their, checking stuff.
She's my Terminex lady too.
Okay. She's
You were
Norma's.
telling about Norma's bringing you dinner.
So she bought me one of my favorite meals. I'm still eating it. Thai food. A lot of people don't like Thai food, but she went into the nearby place. I had her the menu, marked off the stuff. Left Brain used to call and he would say, "Hello, how are you?" And she said, "You want M6?" She recognized his voice. And then he would get there and she would be 6 years old making change.
Oh wow!
And she brought it over here. Hey, Crystal. Oh, she's on the front porch.
You want to bring her in here?
Yeah, I need to tell her something important because I'm going to be in 2 days, Monday and Tuesday. Long.
Okay, let's
infusions.
do your third prize of this.
I didn't do it.
No, we've only done 2.
Oh, I'll argue with you on that for a long time.
Well, if you've done any more, you didn't tell me who they were, so
Okay.
I only have 2 names down.
Joan Elliott Burgess from Greer, South Carolina.
Spell the last name.
Burgess. Is she coming in? Okay. She's got all that stuff on her now.
Okay, that's
Okay.
good.
So
3
those
prizes.
3 are gone, and they were in July. But now, see, we start an August program.
We will
week.
next
So
week.
now
Yeah.
I'll ask for your
That'll be good.
questions. Okay.
Jeannie, a lot of people love the Auburn people at least love the War Eagle on showing and what they don't know what that is in the chair.
Were you?
You want me to tell
Yeah.
them?
Well, Let
Okay.
me tell you, something happened at Auburn. So exciting this week for us and everybody involved, including the number 1 gymnast in the world, Biles, who had to retire from the Olympic things. And we've already rolled Toomer's Corner. If you were at the show that I did in Vegas 2 weeks ago for the speakers, you'll remember that was a story about my uncle passing the week of the Auburn Alabama game. They just didn't know what to have the funeral. And I had practiced that in Ann Arbor 2 weeks earlier. So anyway, Toni, can you tell from over there? Can you
Jeannie,
get this?
we were just all watching the Olympics and excited with the women's gymnastics because Suni Lee, who won the all-around gold, is going to go to Auburn. She's the reason is the Auburn coach and her coach from Minnesota are twin brothers. And so we have gotten a lot of great gymnasts from the Minnesota area. and she's a new one, and hopefully she's going to be there. I heard she's supposed to be in her dorm in August. It's getting ready to start. So I hope she will be there and be a freshman, and we'll get to watch her compete all year in the SEC. So that's going to be fun.
I thought it was all handled classily. And then when Biles had is it the twisties?
Right. She retired. Yes. And apparently that happens to gymnasts. I certainly have never tried to twist my body in the air and get lost or anything like that. Right. But that's an Auburn shirt, and we just put that out so we could talk about Auburn. And Jeanne, man, you have that shirt, if I'm not mistaken.
Jeanne to us for Christmas.
No, Jeanne said, well, I want that shirt. And I said, I'm just telling you, Jeanne, I think you already have it, actually, because I told you where to get it, and we all have them. I have one too, that.
You were telling me earlier that I thought, as a former physical education major and coach, that the whole situation was handled well. She was in the all-arounds, and Auburn hadn't had a gold medal in the all-arounds in maybe 4 years. They've done it a few times, but it wasn't it. And she knew that she could get back on those bars and hurt herself permanently. She was out of sync.
Right. Yeah.
So she just couldn't do that.
She's smart. It was a very, very unselfish thing she did to retire and let them win.
The team was on a roll, and they thought they would win gold.
Well, they usually do, but they won silver, and that was quite a challenge. So that was good.
It was just handled well, and Biles was on the sidelines cheering when they moved this girl up.
Right.
To try.
Oh, that was on the all around. Yeah.
Yeah, on the all around. And she wasn't supposed to be in the competition.
Yeah,
was hoping for,
do things they weren't supposed to do.
But the reason everybody says, why did she go to Minnesota to Auburn? I mean, and I must tell you, Toni, I thought the same thing myself.
It's the connection of the coaches being twin brothers helps. A lot of people thought our coach was in Tokyo, but actually it's his brother who is one of the Olympic coaches and Suni Lee's coach.
Okay.
So it's been fun to watch, and she's got a couple of more events to compete in coming up in a couple of days. So
okay.
She may win some more medals.
But they've already rolled Toomer's Corner in support.
The Auburn gymnastics team was out rolling Toomer's Corner. We saw a video of that, and they're excited for her to come, and I hope she will love Auburn like we do.
Well, I do too. And so welcome, and thanks everybody for immediately the gym was filled with all people, and apparently when Biles who was so outstanding and classy, did her twisties, everybody's hands went over their mouth. They all knew what had happened because it's a common thing that happens.
Right. Did you happen to know that world? You do know what had happened. We didn't, because we don't know how to throw our bodies off of a ball like that, and don't plan to learn at our ages.
Which event would you compete in gymnastics?
Me?
Yeah. Hello, wake up.
Well, the men's events are different. The men have slightly different events.
Well,
the bars are different and all
that would certainly not impact my choice of events.
Yeah.
I get tired watching gymnastics.
And I'm obviously not built for gymnastics. I'm at my height.
I could do a good job as a spotter on the parallel bars. I could stand there, and if people fell, I could throw my body in front of them.
That's right. But what you do is you look at yourself and what you're interested in doing. You go for whatever it is. Yeah. And Al McCree, who heads up the Nashville people, is a shorter person. He went to the the Air Force Academy. I mean, he didn't want to stay in, but he trained pilots and did all that. He said, I just took a good look at my size and said, what am I going to do? I want to do something.
It's easier to find a short pilot than create leg room in those planes.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm hearing. So, okay, what's the next thing that we have down for me to do?
Okay, well, we could let Patrick sing.
Oh, I want to tell about.
Oh wait, you want?
Yeah, you sing.
Well, you got your list. What's the next? What did you want?
Leslie McCabe.
Oh, okay. Why don't you do that real quick?
Okay, and
Yeah.
he can get her.
Yeah,
Can
let's
you
do that.
pin it down on Toni, and she's going to tell about this? Because
Oh.
no, they have
No,
to say on
no,
me.
you got to see the
flower.
flowers.
Okay.
Okay. Behind Jeanne is a beautiful large plant with a lot of plants in it. We refer to it as the jungle.
I love it.
And sticking out of it, you will see the little pictures of pound cakes. Different, one's a slice, one's a whole cake. They're really cute. When that was delivered to Jeanne, we didn't know exactly. Things were coming in very fast, and we didn't keep up with who gave what as well as we should have. And that arrangement, we weren't sure. So last week, I think Jeanne told about it. And,
everybody say hi to Crystal.
There's Christy. Okay. All right.
Debug in the yard around there.
And you're right about a jungle. Not a leaf has turned on that plant.
Right, it's beautiful, and you are going to take care of it, right, and keep it alive. Of course, yes, because those are not artificial; those are real.
These are real.
And we found it came from Leslie McCabe in Connecticut, and so Leslie sent me the backstory on why it came like it came, because we didn't know.
But no, I messed it up last week, and she wanted to give credit where credit was due.
Okay. Well, Leslie she wanted to send something to Jeanne, and she wanted something alive like plants as opposed to fresh flowers. So she called some of our local florist. She looked, I guess, up Burlington, found a florist that I know where it is here. I have not used this florist personally. We have numerous other local florists, and we sort of move around. We
support everybody.
We try to support them all because we do like to support local business people. This is called Philo of Philo's Florist. I think the lady's name is Philo, Filo. And the florist is Philo's Florist. And it's actually located I live about 2 miles from Jeanne, and it's between us. So it's not more than a mile or mile and a half from where we are now. When Leslie called, the lady did not know Jeanne, didn't know of her, didn't know anything about her, and didn't know the pound cake story, of course. But Leslie filled her in, and she said, well, let me think about it and call you back with ideas. And so in the meantime, apparently Philo watched Don't Send a Man to the Grocery Store. So she learned the story.
They had never heard of me in this.
There are a few people who have never heard of me.
Right here.
I know it is strange in Burlington, but true. And the lady enjoyed it, sent it to her daughter. She enjoyed it. So they talked back and forth and figured out what she would do. And she made the pictures, laminated these pictures and stuck them among the plants.
But when I told it 2 weeks ago, I said, Leslie laminated these pictures of pound cake.
Right. You thought she had sent them to someone
and
to put in.
Leslie got right in touch because she said, no, I didn't. They had never heard of you, but watched the films.
They figured it out.
Did it. And so I think there might be a few people in our county, though, that think when things are sticking out of flowers, it's theirs to take, because we've had some people here.
Oh, have you had some?
And they're getting shorter and shorter. And that's it right there.
Yes,
and
it's beautiful.
The first lady she called from another florist, she said, didn't even remember what it was, but she said she was just busy.
Well, she wasn't as enthusiastic about doing something different. I have looked at in getting the name right of Philo's. I guess it's Philo's, not Philo's, but it's Filo. I did notice on their reviews they had, everyone seemed to be praising their customer service. So I would have to say they must always give really good customer service.
Okay, he passed away on a Monday night, and on Sunday, in the middle of the day, I was here. People were walking Miller, and he stood there with this biggest thing.
Apparently, because of the weight, how heavy it was, Philo had her husband deliver it.
Oh, yeah. And I said, you delivering on Sunday afternoon? And he said, well, I guess I am. She was somebody would drop it. And mix
Yeah,
it
it was heavy, and she wanted to make sure it got here. So Jeannie happened to be the one who went to the door
and I said, I can't pick it up
from it.
So,
yes.
So
And
there are nice people, and
so
now we have another one in our rotation for sure.
yeah, that's right. That's
Okay.
right. Yeah, it's a great little florist apparently. Yeah.
But everybody, let me let you know. I'm gonna blame the illness. I have not written any thank you notes yet.
Well, I think you can
I've
legitimately
been in the hospital every day for 2 months.
you can be a little delayed on that right now.
But
You'll get them done.
We have the lists, we have the cards, we have everything, and we appreciate everything. And I will get that done. And so there you go. All right, Patrick. This is our superstar who said, I Thursday night asked him, you had some more responses from that new song about, I guess, cleats, CLEAT in the yard.
Yep.
Okay.
So,
football. And so I said Thursday night, I wanted you to play that. And you said, I don't play it till Saturday. This is the pop-up.
I wasn't taking a stand. I just didn't have my guitar with me. I wasn't planning on it.
And usually he doesn't do that on pop-ups.
Yeah.
They're shorter.
So for those of you who saw the show with Mark Scherenbrock, who is one of my professional heroes, and he's just such a great guy and talented, and I'd written this song, and I'd had the idea of cleat marks in the grass for a long time. Just that line stuck in my head. And so I performed the song, and then Mark followed up with a story that was such an appropriate story. And it was about Harmon Killebrew, the baseball player for the Minnesota Twins, and how when he was a boy, he and his brother would play baseball in the backyard with their dad, and their mother came out one day and said, "You're killing the grass. You're killing the grass." And Harmon Killebrew's father said, "We're not raising grass. We're raising boys." And I thought that was such a great story, and it fit this song. So I want to play it again because I'm real proud of it.
You are requested to play this.
I'm requested to play. I might get requested to play it again next week.
Right.
They never had to ask me twice to grab the ball and go outside. A catch is worth its weight in memories. Our house is not a fancy place, but for us it's always been home base, fertile ground to grow our family. It's the house we live in, it's the home we love in. I wouldn't trade it all the way for anything. We got scuff marks on the hardwoods and handprints on the walls, dog hair on the sofa, pencil marks to show how tall. Our home will live forever, though our house it may not last. God bless the scuff marks on the hardwoods and cleat marks in the grass. Another summer turns to fall. The pencil marks climb the wall. I still can't get my grass to grow. I guess some things they ain't meant to last. It's all moving too darn fast. Nothing I can do to make it slow. Teaching how to drive a car, hoping they won't drift too far, waiting nervously until they come back home. We got scuff marks on the hardwoods and handprints on the walls, dog hair on the sofa, pencil marks to show how tall. Our home will live forever, though the house it may not last. God bless the scuff marks on the hardwood and cleat marks in the grass. I'm now a 50-year-old man. The kids no longer hold my hand. Thank God my wife never let it go. I find myself out in the yard, spreading mulch, working hard. I finally got my grass to grow. We ain't thinking about leaving.
But Lord knows if we did, I'd advertise a 4-bedroom, 3-bath home that's been well loved in. With scuff marks on the hardwood and handprints on the wall, dog hair on the sofa, pencil marks to show how tall. Our home will live forever, though the house it may not last. God bless the scuff marks on the hardwood and cleat marks in the grass. I'll miss the scuff marks on the hardwood and cleat marks in the grass.
Whoa, whoa. When you say
Thank you.
the lines in the wall, I mean, who has not done that? It made my sister, she's older than I am, it made her so, I mean, way up here. She said, what's wrong with me?
You would not have been fun to measure with.
No, I wouldn't have. And the worst thing was, I gave her my hand-me-down clothes.
Right.
And I was the baby.
And she also probably used your hand-me-down hash marks.
You're probably right. If her friends came, these are me. These are mine right here.
Yeah. Well, Meredith, my daughter and I were going into Lowe's, and she's at that age. She's going to turn 13 in a couple of weeks. And she's just all 13-year-old girl. And we were walking into Lowe's, and she said, Dad, what was that line in that song you're writing about holding hands? I said, it's now I'm a 50-year-old man. My kids no longer hold my hand. She reached up and grabbed my hand. She would not let it go for the whole time we were in Lowe's. And I learned a valuable lesson. Guilt works so well with that child.
Yes.
We would go down to see our grandsons play in Georgia, and they would bring socks. I always call. I forgot this. I forgot. So when we walk in the thing and start walking toward them, and they said, just put them down on the bench. Just walk right by us. They were younger then. Because I also mentioned that on my team is Beaver. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And then the two boys. And the chain comes. I tell one person what's happening in the hospital, these kind of things. They call to make sure that Beaver's heard it. Beaver calls to make sure that Patrick has heard it. And then they go to the grandsons and they all start calling. And what do you need me to come? This kind of thing. And I have found that I have a small family now. But the truth is, you can make friends if you just take time. They don't have to be really blood kin. Lord help us if we went through
we call
all
them
that.
family.
What are you
call them
finding any
family.
questions? Oh, let's see. Everything.
I'm sorry, there's not a lot of questions. Like people keep telling how much they love the song.
Yeah.
It's hard to filter through all this adulation.
Well, I understand what you mean. All right, let me see. So we've told about Auburn. And I'm trying to again prove that the humor is around even situations. So we decided we have this beautiful porch and booms and everything connects. It's just absurd. And we've added on 6 times. And we bought the thing in the 70s, 45 years ago. And that after the service, any of the people that had been to the visitation were welcome to come by. And I sat down and wasn't doing much. Everybody said, I know, don't you need to get some food? I said, Jane's coming. Jane Tucker's coming. She'll handle that. Jeannie, my niece, who's also on the team, was there. And then Jane came in and Jeannie came back. It got confusing. Anyway, we had, and sure enough, Jane got in the car, went to the grocery store, and then the church called, and they were bringing food, and neighbors brought things, and we couldn't have the service until I was so sick we couldn't have Jerry's service. That's why we had to wait 2 weeks. And so there's people hanging around. And so Jane was getting ready to go to the service with me. And Toni, you arranged some more of our girls' night out buddies to come over and stay at the house and put the food out.
Right.
They were 4 or 5 of them. And they have always seen Jane all dressed up. I see her slouching around here, looking at the TV, Netflix, this kind of thing. But she did come from New York, and she does all these fancy clothes and jewelry and everything else. So she was leaving the house, and she stopped and said to these friends of ours in the kitchen, what have you done with, what are you doing with all this food on plastic? Plastic. You've got it on plastic. Like the whole house had just burned down. And I said, well, that's what people do around here. You just handle it. And she said, I'll be there as soon as I can. And then she said, I said, they do that at the church so they don't have to all come and pick up something. Do you see? And then they said, I said, and friends do the same thing. You know, it works out quite well. She said, no, I have been with Jeanne buying all this blue and white china for years. She has put a fortune in this china. I'm going to put all of the pieces in place right now. It won't take me 5 minutes. And y'all take everything off of the plastic and put it on the blue and white. They said, we don't even know where the blue and white china is. She said, I said, of course you do. She's telling them. She's got it all over the house. I have gone. But get it all off, and before, dust each platter. Just open up every cabinet. Well, she brought all the platters out, put them down. She said, but we want no plastic. Well, that's not the way we do things around here. But she left, and when I came back, this was a gorgeous set for a gorgeous event with blue and white that I've been collecting for all these years, doing all. And boy, they had that plastic. I saw it in the trash when we pulled up. I mean, it was amazing. And then I said, when Jeanne asked y'all to do all this, what did you think? And they stood there a few minutes and they said, we're afraid of Jeanne. I don't see her that way. But they said, we just did everything as fast, just like you told us, Miss Jeanne. I said, okay. So I think that's fun.
I know. Jeanne can be a little.
Sure. And one of the ones that here was Lynn.
I want to hear how Toni finishes that sentence. Jane can be a little
foreboding.
And she helps me with so many things.
She can scare me, but that's okay.
Yeah, she didn't scare you, Toni.
She didn't scare me right now. Is she still in Africa?
Yeah, she's in Africa.
I figure she's a little busy. She's not right. She's not asking this.
Oh, she doesn't know about all the changes that I'm having to make.
Yes, but someone wants to know if we used Catherine's platter that day. I'm sure we did.
I'm sure
we used all the platters we could find.
Everything that was blue and white they could put in the house.
It was lovely.
It was lovely.
Yes.
And then when she came in, she floated around and met everybody. I mean, everybody was so loved Jerry so much. So my point is, if you look, we'll be telling about we're afraid of Jeanne. And they said they just did what she did as fast as they could.
They would do that.
I did think it was.
It's like
pretty.
your niece, little Jeannie. I'm a little afraid of her when she gets into drill sergeant mode.
Well,
she gets things done.
She's going to be traveling with me some.
That's awesome.
That'll be fun, and that'll be good.
All right, and the shows. If you see that a show has been postponed, I have to tell you the truth. That's the venue's choice.
Yeah, thanks for saying that.
Yeah.
We've had a few people get real upset with you because you're not coming to Kansas City. It's not your choice.
No, it's the venue's choice.
You didn't pick that out. I mean, they didn't want to do that. They have had such an outburst of a surge of COVID in Missouri that they felt like they should do that for now. But I'm sure they'll reschedule and we'll get back.
I get letters all week and he text mails from them. They're going to be going on.
Right.
And unless something in the city says you can't. And
okay.
And then
we only have 6 minutes till 1, so we need to give some more prizes.
Well, okay. Let me just do. I was going to go with the Olympics. I got a son from it. Nene, did you tell me that you went back up to the Miss America pageant? And I said, I went back up there to judge. I certainly was not going to enter again. And they said, and did you wear swimsuits? This is Gray and Ryder, my 2 grandsons. Daddy said you wore a swimsuit in that pageant. You know, the young people today, you wore a swimsuit. Was it like the ones that the beach sand
volleyball?
They said, did you wear a swimsuit like that? I said, no, we had long.
Oh, I hope not.
Well, and then of course Beaver had to chime in. They were wool, you know.
No, not that bad, but no.
So let's give this away. But I had other stories And I wanted to just try to keep y'all looking for it yourselves and talking to friends on the phone if you're still bothered about getting out. And we all just waiting on advice, I guess. Depends on where you live and all that. Okay. I'll get that next time. All right. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the super prize of every show. Last week, I had to give 2 on Saturday because I didn't ever give it on Thursday. I was told about it.
Well, okay. Now, are you going to just give? You've only given 3 prizes. Do you want to give more before? We've only done 3. It's okay. You can do whatever.
Well, they say with this medicine, I may forget. I'll see. Okay. All right. Laura Sims Anderson.
Okay.
All right. And she came in the July bunch. And then, do you see any questions for anything that needs to be done before we get off? How about this? Nancy Gray. I love Jeanne Robertson.
Not to be confused with Nancy Grace.
I know. No, I don't think so.
Gray, G-R-A-Y.
Gray,
Okay.
like our grandson Gray, like a crayon.
Gotcha.
Now, do you have all?
Grandson.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I think she's really out there getting she's walked around the house, and I'll have to find out later.
She may have had to leave and go do another person. So.
She's right there.
Oh, she's still here. Okay. Yeah, you got a big house.
Okay.
Okay.
Piedmont, Texas. Oh, I think we've heard from her before. It's so small we don't have a sign. Michael Moody. So you win something, but you do not win the big
Okay, those are all 3 regular prizes.
Oh, they're out there dusting
my
my
do
house.
the audio.
Okay. And this is the audio book. It is done in the closet, and we still have down to show them the closet.
Still go try to do that. Yes.
Order the audio book. See, does he say order the books? Does he say order the DVDs? Does he say order the hats? But now we have Patrick's commissionable.
That's right.
I know.
All proceeds go to feed the children.
I know.
My children.
I know it. This is 7 hours and 26 minutes or something. 7 different CDs. They can be peeled apart. Like we used to get the little mint boxes at Christmas, and they'd open up. And these are 7. You didn't do that?
Yeah.
You're talking about lifesavers.
Have you ever met Charles Barkley?
No.
You would think he would call by now. He's very big.
He's a
time.
little busy.
He's giving away a lot of money to his hometown. I like that. So what you can do, you can, if you don't want it, you can get something else. But a lot of people are taking them to homes where they can take
nursing homes.
No, well, I don't want to. Just homes.
Oh, then we don't say that. Is that? Am I going to get canceled for saying that?
No.
Okay.
No, not at all.
Assisted living.
Nice place. But you can take them to 7 different places, or you can play them. They all gather around and you listen, and you can do whatever you want to, give it away. But read by Jeanne, her book, Don't Bungee Jump Naked and Other Important Stuff. Read by Jeanne, recorded by Patrick. And so this is a big draw. It's our most expensive item. Very $35. And the rest of them are not that high. Okay, here comes.
People have been asking, why do y'all charge $35 for that thing?
For the 7 CDs,
yeah,
7.
Well, my answer is there's things we want to buy.
Okay. We had to pay a little bit more for this one, as I recall. So there she is. I see her. Okay, I'm going to pull out. That was one that we just did. And this is the winner of the July Today audio. And this goes to Ruby Quest.
Ruby Quest.
They are based on real people. All of this cast of characters are, I think he's asking.
Ruby
Quest.
I'm familiar with that name. Okay.
We got to call
Sounds like
Mark
she did roller derby.
Sharonbrock and tell him about this Auburn student that's coming from Wisconsin because her brother.
Minnesota.
I mean, is this medicine already affecting me?
No, I mean, I get confused. My philosophy is if your state doesn't touch mine, you're a Yankee. So it's all the same to me.
And then we have people from Connecticut that send all these things to, and everybody's been so nice. So watch for next week who you might want to send in a question about. Hey, Terry Schiffman. Oh, she says that she's a big Elon supporter. Laughter is worth $35. Well, have you sent one to Terry? Is she ordering? Do you think, Schiffman? I'm just kidding. No one's paying attention. And she's back here. Hey, have her step in just 1 minute.
You want me to do this now or wait till we get off the show?
No, just if she'll just step in 1 minute. This is Christy, who cleans everything in everybody's. I need to ask you something, Christy.
Crystal.
I call you Christy.
It's okay.
Okay. Thanks for the cookies. Did your daughter make these
I
too?
did this morning.
Well, if you made them with her recipe, you're doing well.
Fresh this morning.
Okay,
Great.
in the house, in the hall downstairs, there's something dead, and it's puffed up to white and furry, and it's in the box that you retract
Behind the door.
something in that hall. And then I think it dawned on me this morning because they started making me walk around with a cane, and I bumped it to see what was in it, and there's something in there dead. And so I'm not going to be here Monday and Tuesday. So anytime you can get it.
Could I make a suggestion that we go ahead and get the dead animal out of the house today?
Well, I mean, and now I'm by myself and I'm sick.
I'm not going to be here Monday or Tuesday. Just get to
I'm
that
not
dead
gonna be
piece
here
of
Monday or
flesh
Tuesday.
whenever you can.
Yeah, okay. Just
If front door's open, I'll sneak in the front door and have to be down there.
that'll be
Or
great.
your
But thank you.
lower door's open, I'll go that way.
You're here on
Now.
Saturday.
Huh?
You're here on Saturday.
Just finishing up. My mom's been sick this month.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Is she going to be okay?
They're doing a PET scan on Wednesday, and they did a biopsy, and they think she's got lung cancer.
Oh.
Oh, we'll be praying for her. Okay. Thank you.
So
We got
why
to.
don't you do a PET scan in a minute. Let's find that dead animal.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll get rid of it.
Okay.
Thank you for the cookies.
You get it.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Bye-bye. You're losing weight. You look good. Okay. Well, hey, y'all, thanks a lot, and thanks for your understanding. I'm not.
Okay.
Okay. Are we all? Are we?
Why do you put pictures of me?
All right. See. Wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
She's a heck of a lot of fun, Jeanne Robertson. Oh, she's a heck of a lot of fun, Jeanne Robertson.